stuff we should be adding on our TikTok, you know. We do have a TikTok.
We have a Talkie Tip?
We have a little Tick app.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
So say that again. We have a TikTok?
Yeah, we have a Tick app. A little TikTok.
Really?
Well, it's under DD Phoenix, but I've been posting kind of all social media and disc golf content on it, and I've been including. I link treed that with our ADD.
Okay.
To kind of advertise ADD a little heavier too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we should do a TikTok with this.
We should, absolutely. Yeah. We need to be making more short form stuff.
That'd be fun. So here's where we're going to start.
Yeah, let's start.
Because I'll start this off, and then you're going to take it over with everything that's in front of us.
Yep. I think
This is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, this is cool.
It's really cool because it seems like with the courses getting longer, people talk about not having 5 speeds as much in their bags, but that's a real mistake, and you're going to explain why.
Yeah, most people are drive putt, but I think learning the game or understanding the game more so, you've got to have 5 speeds in the bag. Just as valuable as learning how to throw a putter. We'll
move Dusty out of the way. The first one that's going in the giveaway bag, and we're getting very close. We're at over 200 already.
Yeah, took no time at all.
Is the Garrett Girthy signed Innova Destroyer.
169 gram.
169 gram with the double G jerky. This thing, doesn't that feel nice? Isn't that just, that is a really nice star.
When you first showed me this star reminded me of like my old AJs. I love this plastic.
Yeah.
It feels phenomenal.
It's really stiff, is. It's got a...
But it's going to beat up to be a little bit softer.
There it is. It's going in. Who's going to get it? This one is...
That's a recycled plastic Defender.
That's pretty cool. And what speed is that?
That's a 13.
13 speed. That plastic's unreal too.
Tacky.
Very tacky.
Yeah.
Very nice disc.
It's going to beat up to be an absolute bomber for somebody.
171 gram reflector. That is a cool disc. That's a really, really cool disc. Next we have
Ice
Slammer. This thing's really nice. And we should mention who donated these, by the way.
Oh yeah, our dude.
Our dude.
The
our
man.
Main man. Steven, you come say hi? This is out
Please welcome Steven to the show, everybody.
His private stash. He knew we were doing this. That's the man right there. Thanks, buddy. Slammer.
Ice Slammer, by the way.
Yeah, Ice Slammer. These things are so nice.
It's the best pig since the pig.
This is another Slammer, but it's what plastic is that?
It's either Supreme or they did a classic blend as well. This feels like classic because it's not as stiff.
Right.
It's got a little flex to it.
It's super tacky.
Yeah, very tacky. Should stick right to the ground where it hits.
Sake Bomb stamp.
Really cool stamp on that. It's very hypnotizing.
So 2 different occasions for if the weather's. I always find that if weather's determines like which one I'll throw.
Well, and shot shapes too. If you want some skip, you'll throw this boy.
Right. Boom. Maya.
From the 11-speed episode.
This thing is a 171 bomber.
The Splatter S blend feels really nice.
Yeah, for your slower arm speeds like mine, this thing is like a jet. Yep. It's a good comparison.
It's a beat up Wraith.
Beat up Wraith.
Yeah.
Great comparison. Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful disc. Feels super good in the hand. Plus, it's really cool plastic. Look at the yellow and black sparkles in this thing.
It kind of reminds you of the Jawbreaker a little bit.
It's an S blend. The value of this thing is going through the roof, you guys. Latitude Core Opto Ice. 6-speed?
They call it a 6-speed, I think. It looks like a 5 to me. It wouldn't surprise me. They called it a 6. They called the Warship a 6 for a long time.
Yeah. That's a really cool disc. Also has the Sake Bomb on it. Really, it's from the Sake Bomb box. So that's a part of a, subscription box. That's really cool. You're so nice, dude.
Stop being so nice.
You're so nice.
Wow, too nice to be a disc golfer.
So this is kind of a big surprise because we had some stuff put aside. And this is a 2021 Nate Sexton.
Color Glow Champ Firebird.
Boom. This is a sick disc, guys.
People like the glow plastic for the tact, the feel, and the flight, not so much the fact that it glows. It doesn't really glow that good. But Innova's kind of notoriously known for that. So
that's really cool. That feels so good. So there we go. What are we up to here?
The bag's half full.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 discs in the bag on week 1 of the offering.
Correct. Yeah, took no time. Our goal was 250, and we're at 215 or something. We're probably going to get a couple more during this episode with how fast it's filling. So
that's so awesome.
Next week we'll fill it the rest of the way and
get our buddy up here.
Shoot, we might already have to draw a winner.
It's looking that way. Good luck to everyone. All you have to do is subscribe and on YouTube and follow us, right? On Instagram?
Correct. If you could please follow us.
And
we
you're
appreciate it. We appreciate the support.
You're in. 5 speeds. This is crazy how many 5 speeds I see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the 5-speed is such an important part of the game.
And this is cool how you set it up. So you went from overstable to
neutral
to sort of understable side.
Understable, yeah. Just to show you the range and the variety of what we have. There's definitely space for every single bit of stability in the bag. I mean, I bag 3 EMAC Truths just because the different plastics cause different flight at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we broke this up by stability just to kind of digest it a little easier. These are the most overstable 5 speeds in the store right now. Anchor, Justice, we've got a Recluse, the Quake. The Quake is awesome. I think that's one of the most underrated discs of all time.
DGA seems to be making a push. With the
oh my goodness, their team.
The team
is fantastic.
Right?
And their discs are fantastic too. The Squall, the Sail. I'm hearing more and more people like the Hellfire.
Pipeline's great.
The Pipeline, yeah. The Bonsai. Dickerson's been throwing the Bonsai like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something to this DGA stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's building. It really is.
This is a Walker. It's the same exact shape as the Justice. These are all in the 5, they call it 5304, 5303 type of range for flight numbers. They're all going to essentially do the same thing. They fade. They're good for forehands, backhands, wind situations. And every bag does need an overstable 5-speed. I find myself reaching for my Anvil, which is a 4, but it's pretty much the same shape as these guys.
Was runway. What was this one?
Oh, Deflector. Yeah, I kind of just ran through these, huh?
Yeah. What was that one?
MD5. Yep.
Okay.
I don't know if these MD5s are as overstable as they say they were, or as the older runs.
Feels really good. I like that plastic too.
They used to be like a gator, but the shape is no longer gator-ish. It doesn't have a bead anymore. It's got more of an anvil look to it, actually.
I was going to say, it looks and feels like that 4 in the hand versus it's cool. Nice plastic.
Yep. Everybody makes this overstable 5-speed. You just got to get one. It's going to be your faster zone or your faster slammer.
Right.
Which is...
in that situation that you need that.
If there's any kind of wind, you don't really want to throw that deep dish disc. It's going to be manipulated a little too easy. This is going to cut and fade.
Now, how are those on like forehands? Are they
they're awesome.
Yeah.
It's just like throwing your overstable 9-speed. It's going to fight out of it.
Right. Okay.
It's going to handle all the torque you got.
That's great.
Yep. It just comes down to finding the right one. A lot of people really like that deflector.
Yeah.
That's been a really popular item in the store. We move on to not as overstable as the really stupid overstables. These just have a little bit more glide to them. They kind of come in that almost 5.4, 5.5, 0.3s, 5.5, 0.2s.
So fugitive.
Yep. The MIDI. Although I think the MIDI and the Fugitive are a lot straighter than the flight number suggests. They almost don't even belong in this pile. They probably belong more over here. We classified it by flight numbers, which they're always subjective at the end of the day anyways. Malta. It's Paul Macbeth discs that Paul Macbeth doesn't bag. The Method. It's kind of like a Rock 3.
It's a Paul Macbeth disc that he doesn't bag?
Yes.
Yeah. That actually feels good. It feels...
I think it was supposed to fill his Rock 3 slot, and it just didn't quite fit.
Let's see how that's...
The Pyro. Man, the Pyro is really popular, but I guess anything MVP is just a home run. The fact that they're putting this premium plastic on the outside, too, helps it beat up a little better than their regular black rim. The regular black rim on the outside, I don't think it holds up very well. This is my favorite.
Well,
in this slot.
this is an Axiom, so that's why that's
yeah,
cool.
I don't know if they'll do MVP disc with the prism type rim.
Right.
It would only make sense. They kept the two separate, but I think you give the people what they want at the end of the day, right?
Such a good product. That's really cool, that green on there.
It's a cool color combo.
It really is.
Surprised we still got it. Okay.
And the Bobcats, the Mint. Shout out to Mint.
Yep. I really liked the Bobcat. This was my go-to headwind mid-range when I couldn't quite trust my slammer. The Bobcat was the go-to.
Got it.
Yep. Awesome plastic too. Love the plasma / sublime plastic.
Right.
Okay. And then this is probably my favorite stack here. The 5502s, the glidey, trustworthy, maybe not quite headwind trustworthy, but trusty fade at the end. Something you can trust to pop up, go straight, and kind of just plop down at the very end of its flight when it starts losing spin. First up, we got a Valor. This is a Pinnacle plastic. Got some decent flex to it, a little bead on it. It kind of looks like a Rock 3. Legacy is also notorious for being a little bit more overstable than the flight numbers suggest. The Supreme Emac Truth, this is the best disc of all time. I absolutely love the Emac Truth. Not to mention in the Supreme plastic. The Supreme plastic is some of the best stuff to come out in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah. You throw that a lot. You bomb that.
Yeah, and in all molds, by the way. The Supreme plastic and the Royal Grand plastic is so tacky.
Yeah.
It doesn't lose much snap in the rain, which is,
or
the morning dew, really beneficial. The Pine, like a shallow compass. This is an ice plastic. Awesome disc. Neutral, trusty. The Verdict, people say it's an overstable buzz, which I tend to agree with. It almost belongs in this stack, but the Verdicts I've thrown, if you throw it on an Annie, it doesn't quite fight out of it. It kind of hangs on to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never thrown one.
The Trust, however, will fight out, and it's going to be on the slightly more overstable side, just like this stack here.
Okay.
People really like the Trust. Royal Grand plastic again. Color Glow MD3. This is the Eagle signature series, the Iron Samurai from Discmania. This is when Latitude took over production. Star J. This is the best mid-range they've made in a long time, man. It's like in between an MD3 and an Emac Truth. Micro bead on it, feels great in the hand. It's got really nice glide. Saw somebody up in Flagstaff throw one on a bit of hyzer, and it stayed on the hyzer, but it went straight. So it just sort of cut through the air on that angle and then eventually sat down. It was beautiful. This is a Mustang, really close to a buzz.
It's a 180 too, so that's got some weight to it.
Oh yeah, most of these mid-ranges are going to range in the 170 plus.
Right.
The only lightweight mids we got are beginner-friendly type.
Right.
Like the Hex, the Truth, Claymores. The Matrix is awesome. This is a really torque-resistant mid. They call it a -1 turn. I don't know if that's accurate. More like a 5502. They call it a 4 glide. All subjective. The Reactor. This is the overstable buzz as well. Really nice neutral flying disc, something you can trust to throw flat and just kind of let it cruise for a long time before it finally loses its spin and fall.
Yeah, the Reactor. MVP, man. What is up? They're crushing it.
Yeah, they're going to continue to crush it for a while, I think.
So,
they're really building for expansion and to keep their brand relevant.
Yeah. That feels really good in the hand.
Most of their stuff does. So this stack is just going to have a touch more turn, because now we're getting into the more understable stuff, where this stuff is more neutral.
Right. This
stuff will be more like hyzer flip up, or potentially hyzer flip to turn and late fade type discs. Very, very useful in tailwind, very, very useful in the woods. I think this is really an important part of the game to have. If you end up throwing a lot of 300-foot shots in the woods, you better be able to pipe a line. Sometimes you only got a 15-foot gap to hit. And it's better to lace one of these where it's going to land softer rather than a driver that you're going to forehand and potentially skip off or overturn or underturn. You're going to hit a tree and kick off into the woods somewhere crazy. You're much better off training your arm to handle a 5-speed than throwing a driver on a 300-foot hole in the woods.
And wouldn't you say Robinson was...
He executed that perfectly.
Right.
He really demonstrated
this speed in particular.
Yeah, for sure. Probably one of the best 5-speed throwers on the planet.
Yeah.
Really, if you're going to emulate your game after somebody, It's a pretty good guy to learn from.
Not too bad.
Not so bad.
Yeah.
Right on top, Truth. It's a classic. It's got a small bead on it, low parting line, really easy to turn over. Something you can throw on any and trust it to stay over, or it's not going to fade out at the end. Claymore. It's
How
got
do they beat up? So let's say we're a year in throwing it.
of throwing this disc, depending on how often you throw. If you're throwing once a week, this thing's going to get really understable.
Really?
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. That's like Heiser flip up to no fade type.
Okay.
You know, and some of those discs, they beat up very, very well.
So having said that, what do you think the longevity is for something that, okay, you put it in the bag for that purpose? You think it's got a lifespan if you're using it once a week for 6 months?
Of course, yeah. You're going to have to rotate. If you end up finding a mid-range set that you like, you're going to have to rotate new ones in. So it is important to buy multiples of stuff that you like.
Yeah.
However, the one EMAC Truth that's in my bag has been there for 7 years.
Yeah.
And the more I beat it up, the straighter it seems to get. So it's a dream.
And Steve and I were talking about this before. That's sort of where your arm speed isn't the same as what it was.
Correct.
You're throwing much faster now.
That's right.
But yet it's still responding. Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. That is very interesting. Although I learned disc golf backwards. I learned how to throw a boss before I learned how to throw a putter.
Right. Right.
Which was the dumb way to do it, because now I don't have very much finesse in my game. But that's something now that I'm teaching younger players.
Yeah. You got the hands of a bricklayer.
Yeah, kind of.
No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say the touch, the mid.
Yeah.
No, you do.
That adds up.
You're a great putter.
I'm hit or miss.
It's better than it was a year ago.
Good point.
You float them in.
Yeah, just got to get better every year, right? That's a natural progression. If you're improving, then you're doing something right.
Right. Well, it's a hard thing to even go in the backyard here in Phoenix and just put 50 of them in the basket a day. Mm-hmm. It feels like it should be an easy thing to do, but it's somehow life always gets in the way, right? And then your focus isn't always there every time. So I go out to the golf course, and a lot of times when I'm playing, I'm not paying as much attention to those 20 footers as I should be.
Yeah. Yeah, something about that focus reset, right?
Right.
To treat it like it really matters.
I think that's the key to myself. I think that's the key to becoming a good putter, is to always be, when you putt, focus. Just stay in that zone. And if you're not in that zone, don't putt.
It's a different level of discipline.
Yeah, it is.
To have that level of focus, for sure.
It is. And I think you have to have that.
You really do.
Practice like it's a game. Like you're playing in a tournament, right? Don't just take it for granted. And
that's something that I actually heard Sexton talk about, was before a tournament, he only throws a few putts. It's not like he's sitting there throwing 100 putts before a tournament. He throws a couple, found it, okay, got it. Let's focus on other things.
I think that's more valuable.
I think so.
If you're 100% into that moment, you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about what's coming up.
Right.
You're in that moment and you're getting a good practice. You're probably going to dial it in faster than just going through the motions.
Yeah, like adjusting every single putt. Like, okay, well, there's my muscle memory there. And then after your drive, upshot, now you got to putt all of a sudden. Well, you don't get 4 tries.
Right.
You got to make this one count.
Yeah. So it's getting your head in that space.
It's a good way to get the head in the space.
It's interesting. Sorry.
No, you're okay. That was a good tangent. Yeah. Thanks,
Squirrel.
Dusty.
Claymore. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, yeah. The Claymore. This disc is very, very special to me in particular. This kind of incited my love for the game. Same exact flight numbers as the Truth, although it's a bit shallower and doesn't have quite the beat on it. The Claymore is awesome.
Yeah, I agree. And whatever plastic you get it in, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I haven't met a Claymore that I don't like. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a pretty one there.
Oh, yeah. The Orbit glows are cool.
Orbit glow?
The fact that they're doing, that's a glow.
That's it.
It's a Tatar glow. They're doing all the Orbits in different plastics now with the Orbit Ice, tournaments, glow, just anything they can get their hands on there.
Kristen's name's on here. Be cool to have Porsche.
They should do a Porsche run for her, right?
I think they should. Yeah, it's such a good disc.
Next up is the Warship. This used to be a 6-speed. I think I mentioned that earlier.
Great disc.
Give it a 6 glide. Yeah, this is an awesome disc. This is one of the first mids I grafted onto early too, along with this one, just to complement, just a little bit more fade out of it than this one would have.
Yep.
Compass 5501. deep, straight, glidey, great feel in the hand, despite it being deep. I don't normally gravitate towards the deep stuff. The origin, I think the origin's more understable than they say it is. That might belong over there ultimately, but yeah, hyzer flip up, really neutral, straight flying disc. The Rift, this is a cool disc. This is another underrated disc, I think. People don't appreciate. Katrina Allen's signature series. I'm sure she'll be throwing that a lot this year. I've never actually thrown one of these. Should have done some more homework on this before going into this video.
You know a lot. Again, DGA.
It's just a DGA buzz at the end of the day, though, right? They give the buzz the same exact flight numbers for some reason. It's got a 4 glide.
Like a buzz, though. To
Does
me,
it?
I've got 4 buzzes at home, but I don't know. I think it's got a unique feel to it. This is a really cool plastic.
Yeah, the plastic's awesome. Big fan of their SPs and their Pro lines. It kind of reminds me of the plasma plastic, their Pro line. And this is just...
It's got the metal flake. And
you got to love the metal flake. Prettier discs fly better, 10 times out of 10. Scientifically proven.
That's really nice, actually. I might have to sneak this out
of
the old store.
Just put it in the backpack.
Don't tempt me.
Yep, yep.
Is it going in?
Why not? Yeah, go for it.
OMG. There you go, guys.
I got to contribute at some point. That was all Steven there.
There you go.
I got to get off the couch someday. People like this element, the gateway element. They call it a 5.5 -1.1. Yep, you're a thrower of the element, huh?
It's great.
Pretty smooth flyer, pretty accurate to the flight numbers, or do you think it's more understable?
I think if whatever you throw 90% arm speed, okay, which is usually, I never know anyone except for maybe Robinson, I see throw 100% arm speed on a 5-speed, right? Guarantee this is going to fly 10 to 20 feet further
than any of your 5 speeds?
100%, sure.
Oh, wow.
I promise you it will.
Okay.
It just doesn't want to come down. It's got a great flight to it.
It's got a really unique shape as well. It looks like an MD3, but I'm sure it's more understable than an MD3 is.
I was coming into a couple of our holes here at Contecito, and the first time I got that, and I'm always into this area with my drive, and I know I've got a 5-speed, like 280 yard shot, and
point and click.
It just overshot.
Oh, you went past?
Yeah, it over. And then I knew I had something that was unique. It seems like it's got just a little bit more of an edge. Like it's not as blunt.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of rounded on the edge, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even on the underside, it's a little rounded.
And I don't know if that means it cuts through the air a little bit better than a normal 5-speed, but it feels like every other 5-speed, but it doesn't fly like it.
It can almost be considered a 6 with that.
Those guys.
Yeah, go Gateway.
Gateway has a good one there, I think.
Well, I wonder if Jacob's going to throw that. Curtis.
Yeah? No.
No, not the element. Probably too understable for him.
Yeah. I think everything is
pretty unstable for that guy.
Pretty ridiculous, right?
Probably with the amount of power he has.
Got a ton of power.
This is a Mako 3. I didn't really have regular Makos in the store. This is basically just, the 3 means it's a flat-topped Mako. And it is perfectly flat-topped. It's nice and rounded on the edge. This disc is pretty well known for being a true, well, maybe not a true 0-0, but really no fade on it. Yeah. So if you overturn this thing, good luck. It ain't coming back.
That's awesome.
Yep, thank you for the assist. Now, these ones are the finesse mid-ranges. These are something you've really got to hit your airspace, because otherwise you're going to overturn and start hitting trees or cut roll even. Really easy to do with the Svea. Svea is almost a forehand replacement. You can hyzer flip this thing, push it right, and control it all kinds of different ways. Super fun mid-range to have. Same with the Fuse.
Really fun.
Same with the Fuse, and it's kind of a similar shape. The Svea is more blunted. This one's got a bead on it. Not really a bead, but kind of. It comes down to a little bit of an edge there. Really deep, which some people like. The evidence is really similar to a Claymore. I think they call it a 5.5 -2.1, something like that. Another just tree carver, something to really push up and push right that you can trust on a hyzer flip, like a hard hyzer to flip up and just go dead straight. I love those straight lasers.
Do as well.
Mm-hmm. This is a Wombat 3. This is the weirdest disc of all time. It's like a Rolo, but weirder. It's got like it's concave, not concave. It's the opposite of concave right here. It kind of bulbs out like a Roadrunner does with a big old bead on it. It's got a sharp edge like a 6-speed would, or a 7-speed even. Really strange disc, but a lot of people really like the Wombat. People have been requesting these like crazy.
How does it fly then?
It's understable, yeah. Pretty user-friendly, understable mid-range. It doesn't feel bad in the hand, but it definitely feels different. It's noticeable, the big bead on it and the rounded edge and the sharp edge. It's a weird disc, man, but go to your local store and check it out. Hold one in your hand. See what I'm talking about here.
I like weird.
Weird tends to fly pretty good.
Yeah.
Look at the Berg.
The Berg.
That's a weird disc that flies perfectly.
It is. I don't know how anyone could hate the bird.
People hate it initially when they first meet it because they put it in their hand like yuck. I was the same way. I held it like, I don't like it. It's different. But it's beautiful.
It is. It's a great, great disc.
It does exactly what you think it's going to do. It's going to fall.
I just can count on it. It's so great. You're 200 in. That is, you just feel like you're guaranteed up and down.
And I mean, the angles on it, Anheuser, Heiser, flat, roller.
Wonderful disc.
This is the Discmania Mako, the MD1 5605. Same exact shape. It's flat. The plastic feels phenomenal. I think this is what they did the Mindbender in, the Simon Lizotte disc. That was his previous to the Hex. He was throwing the MD1 for his neutral / Anheuser / tree carver shape of a disc.
Yep, feels like it.
And the gauge is just about the same thing too. This one's a little domier, but 5501. This is the tree carver.
That sea line's nice plastic too. I don't know if there's bad plastic out there anymore, is there? I mean, there is if you buy it at, maybe Walmart.
I'm a little biased. Some companies are worse than others, and especially the people that contract out to like China. I don't really like the Chinese-made plastic. The Discmania and Prodigy does that.
Yes.
So there are bad plastics.
Yes, in that circumstance.
Last but not least, this is a great disc. We shouldn't have talked about bad plastics because this is great plastic. I really like the Z Discraft stuff. And this is just kind of a Mako, but it feels a little shallower, which is a little bit more comfortable in the hand for me, at least, small hands. So this is really Heiser flip machine, man. You can get a lot of distance with that Buzz SS.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's an awesome disc. That should almost go in here for like the really understable mids.
Paige Shoe?
Yeah, I think she's going to have a good season.
I like Paige Shoe.
I do too. The Tersus, I think, is a modified Claymore. The rim feels a little smaller and the parting line is definitely lower. So this thing's really easy to turn over.
Okay.
And talk about really easy to turn over, the Rolo. You throw these.
Love them.
Yeah, I mean, everybody seems to love this disc.
I don't roll it, though.
So, and a lot of people don't. They just kind of like it as an easy...
I don't have... Because I'm always working on a better forehand, but I literally can stand up on a standstill and
trust it.
Perfect.
It's not going to fade.
No, it's wonderful. You have to know where that release is.
Oh yeah,
or you're
gonna roll.
Right, you're gonna roll. That's for sure.
You know what?
But that's the fun part about it.
Oh yeah,
super fun to throw it.
When I first saw this disc, the first thought was Discraft Stratus. This looks exactly like a Discraft Stratus.
Oh, okay.
And I was wondering why so many people were calling the store and asking if we had them. It's because they were looking for this. And so I think Innova saw a market there. Innova's very, very clever. Despite the Animal, they're one of their last releases, they did a really good job on this. And even the Alien. Nobody knew they needed an Alien until they released an Alien. The reason why an Alien's not on the table is because they call it a 4-speed. It tweener.
4 and 5.
We could have done a 4 and 5 episode. There's not
that's what you'd classify that Animal at?
No, the Animal is like a 2-speed. The Alien is the one that's like a 4, but it kind of looks like a 5.
Okay.
It's got the same width of rim as this Lobster does, but it's just got a stupid big dome on it.
I started there with the Lobsters.
Yeah.
Once I went past the putter, I went to a Lobster.
Awesome.
Well, it was great learning disc.
Instant classic too. Everybody loved this disc out of the box for being that Hyzer flip up to no fade, even turning it over and letting it cruise, like really smooth flyer.
Yeah.
I think that's what Mint has come to be known as, is the smooth flyer company.
Yeah, they really are. That's another disc like the Element that for a mid-range,
Yeah.
for an under 60 mile an hour arm like mine, you can get 300 with that disc.
On a rope too.
Yeah.
Pop up and just go.
Yeah. Yeah. A great disc.
This is in the wrong stack. This belonged like right here.
But everyone knows the hex.
Yep, everybody knows the hex. It made a pretty big splash. And now, with Simon going over there and everybody's been grabbing hexes. Feels good in the hand.
Yep. Great disc.
It's flat, fairly stiff.
Yep.
I think it's pretty true to the flight numbers, 5.5 minus 1.1.
Yeah. I think it gets there. I don't know that it comes out of the box that way.
Really?
But I do think it gets there.
Yeah, you need a couple throws on it.
I do. I think
hit a tree or two.
I do. I think you do. Well, I haven't tried all the plastics to back that up, but it is it's just one of those discs that I always felt really good.
All my friends seem to throw the Glow, which is more like a 5.50 too, like more so they're trusty, overstable, mid-range, stable to overstable.
I always thought it was a nice transition going from this, and then if I needed a 6-speed, have the Crave, because they don't that shallower feel. They feel like it's like they it's almost like a golf club. It's like grabbing a 5-iron and a 6-iron and a 7-iron. They're just the links are a little different, but they feel exactly the same, and the weights are usually the same. So it's very similar that way.
The Crave is amazing because it travels like a mid-range, but it goes as far as a driver. Throwing yours in the field that day was, it really opened my mind. I actually started bagging one after that.
Yeah.
Because of how they're maybe not torque resistant, but just glidey.
Yeah.
They really stay up in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, they're fun.
They are very fun.
Really good in tight areas too. Like I always feel like I've got one that I've had in the bag for a year, and I can count on that one to straight to fade out a little bit, and whereas I have a newer one, and I can count on that to fade. So yeah, they're great.
Good.
MVP
again.
So how many do we just run through here?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
We touched all of them. Mid-ranges, so important to the game.
10, 20, 30, 40, of just under 50?
Under 50 discs. Not bad.
That's insane. Well done.
Thank you.
Anything going on in the world of disc golf that we need to really, really hit on?
Steven?
He's over there buying new discs for the bag.
Yeah, he's shopping. I wanted to talk about Jake Mon.
Jake Mon.
Fill
me in.
So this kid was 17, I want to say, last year. Or was it the year before? I'm losing track of time way too rapidly. But Jake Mon, this kid.
He was 15 when he was at the USDGA. When he was like in the
How long ago was that?
Card?
That was probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So then 17 this last year. Yeah, so that would make sense. This kid just signed with DGA.
He did.
Go DGA, man. They are the company.
Cole Redolin and him. Some good youth.
Andrew Marweed. I guess he's not young, but still.
Yeah.
Their team is awesome. And Jake Mon kind of had a breakout season. I think he's got a very, very bright future. People are really raving about Gannon. I think we need to be talking more about Jake.
Well, Gannon the putting is
pretty pristine.
That is elite.
And he's got good distance, great control.
Yeah. It's all the other stuff too.
Everything that makes a great disc golfer.
Yes. So when I see Jake putt like Gannon, I'm on your side.
Okay. I hope he proves that to you this season.
Good.
I'm rooting for this kid, man. Seeing him play last year and making league cards as a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Very bright future.
Well, we're a week away, man. From some. Doesn't count, but it's still fun to see everyone throwing again next week, right?
Oh yeah.
Have you figured out your disc golf network? Because ever since they changed the platform, I haven't had it on like all winter long at the house.
Oh, I don't know. I went on and watched some stuff the other day. I kind of wanted to rewatch the On Tour documentary.
Yeah.
Because it made me emotional watching that first episode. So I kind of wanted to bring up some of those feelings again now that the tour is coming back.
Yeah. They did a nice job with that.
Made me feel like disc golf made it.
Yeah.
I was like, we made it, everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's knocking on the door, for sure. I think this is going to be a good year. But the younger talent is to your point, is really it's a good marker for the health of the sport.
Yeah.
It
There's
really is.
upbringing in it now,
Right.
so it's going to
Right.
it's just going to elevate it that much higher.
Yep.
And make it that much tougher for the pros.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not apparently an easy thing to get your tour card.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know that.
I'm hearing more and more players are going to be doing the sign up warriors, the check-in warrior type thing of just waiting for the availability of it and just
Right.
hoping. I mean, imagine going out there just crossing your fingers.
Yeah.
Talk about a gamble.
Yeah. I haven't looked into like how many. They're not calling them Silver Series this year, are they, Steven?
Yeah, they're calling them silvers.
Are they calling them silvers?
They're calling them silvers, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think they have silver and silver plus.
Because I know
Silver
that you
Series.
can get a card, like certain people we know in the Phoenix area here have cards for the Silver Tour.
Which I didn't know they even had levels of card. I only heard of the tour card.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize there were steps down.
Yeah. That seems very similar to how golf built itself up. Is they got the Nike Tour. They got Jordan involved and got Nike involved. And now you had a stage where you could, if you did well on this, you were graduated to the PGA Tour without having to go to Q school, which is always a big deal, where it's a week long of qualifying. It's thousands of dollars to get in. It's
Woof.
If you're not on that week,
Yeah.
you're out for the whole next year.
Oh, God,
your
that
tour
hurts.
card. So this was a great way to step into
Okay.
or up to the PGA Tour.
Well, golf already laid the road work, right? We're just kind of
100%.
following it.
And follow it.
Why not? Look where it's
Right.
at.
Right. Follow it. And like we brought up last week, I think Tiger Woods was a big reason why it's as big as it is, period. End of story. However, it doesn't mean that same thing can't happen in this sport. We just had Kristen Tatar win every major last year in one season. I mean, when Bobby Jones did that in golf, they had a ticker tape parade in Manhattan for the guy. So, and Estonia just, bestowed her with the athlete of the year. So there's recognition that it's the sport's come of age. This is something to pay attention to. And you already know this from me. It's coming from Europe. Europe's going to lead the way, and but the United States will see that, and they'll pick up the ball and we'll run with it.
Yep.
So it's all about corporate getting involved and getting this thing. Where you see it at the TPC this week here in Scottsdale, Arizona, with the Phoenix Open is in town, and I just really want that for disc golf to have a 16th hole. And Anthony Barella said, well, we kind of do with number 8, but there's 40 some odd thousand or more on that one hole.
Yeah, you're talking about a real crowd.
I'm talking about a stadium.
Yeah, that's a true stadium.
That's a true stadium. That's just
40K.
That's just one hole.
Yeah.
There's 250,000 people walking around. This Saturday is sold out again.
Of course.
So that means that something like 250,000 people will be on the course Saturday.
Wow.
And that's what I'm not saying disc golf's going to get there overnight, but it built up to that. And disc golf you're seeing some of the same foundations being laid early.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I hope we
Sport
hold
is
on
coming
to
a long
some of
ways.
our, we have come a long way, and I think we're going to go a long way yet.
Yep.
I hope we kind of hold on to some of the inclusivity,
Yeah.
because golf is very exclusive for the elites and the posh and the wealthy.
Yeah.
I kind of like that disc golf involves everybody, and that's created a great community of people.
For sure.
And I would like to keep that moving forward. Ultimately, obviously, pay to play is coming and necessary for the sport to grow.
Yes. But it'll be reasonable because you don't
Not
have
$100 to go play.
Correct.
for your
You don't
green
have the
fee.
same square footage of land, acreage of land.
Right.
You don't have the water bills. You don't have.
Yeah, you don't have the maintenance required.
Yeah.
Some maintenance, but not quite water bills.
That will change. But
Sure.
it's going to, at least let's get it started and we'll go from there.
We're on our way, everybody.
Yeah, I think $25 the most I've heard for pay to play so far.
Yep, I've heard that.
So that's reasonable. Very reasonable.
I'd pay that. If I could play 2 rounds, I'd pay that, I think.
Boom.
Because that's
There you go out there,
3
everybody.
hours.
Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's make it happen. Let's get some land.
Let's go team. I'm still shopping for land, by the way.
Yeah, good. Good. Never stop. They're not making any more. Eagles Crossing's $37.
37.
So that went up.
Yeah, that's like that's
But they also have 36 holes now. So I think that must be like an all-day pass.
I would hope that's an all-day pass.
Like you're
40
going
bucks.
skiing,
Yeah.
right? It's $400 to go skiing, but
That's for a tee time? Dang, they must be busy.
That's great. See,
Dude, so
I'm telling
that's
you, it's great.
dang. So there's
That's what we
a
need.
opportunity.
That's what we need.
It's knocking.
Great job. We'll keep it short and sweet. I think that's our MO. Subscribe, guys. Look at it's half full, getting there at least.
We got
Oh
a
my
half.
gosh.
Yeah, we got another
Thanks
half to fill.
Thanks to our man Steven coming through. I feel bad just bringing Garrett Gerthy, but that's a rare disc. So thanks for outdoing me on that one.
Yep.
Just crushed me. Just took me down. I came in here all swaggery.
Yeah, he brought a $100 gift to the White Elephant.
He did. He totally did. What a sweet guy. You're awesome, dude. All right. So next week we're going to be prepping for the All-Star.
That's right.
And we'll get some, when you head up to Page, start your,
Sunday.
this Sunday or next Sunday?
This Sunday.
All right, man. Look forward to hearing more about that. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Subscribe.